Hey guys, so I know it's been quite a while since I made a video last. Essentially what happened there was after my last video, it started to get kind of hot during the summer and I didn't have working AC. And I had to deal with that heat wave without AC. So it was just too hot, too miserable to make videos. And then when it started to cool off, I got evicted. So I had to go and find a new home. Don't worry, I didn't do anything wrong. New owners took over the property we were living at, and they wanted to move in a family member. So we had to leave. I got 90-day notice, so, I had enough time and stuff. I found a new place. It's an apartment. It has its pros and cons compared to my duplex from before. But nevertheless, I'm settled, happy, the weather is cool out, so I'm ready to make videos again. So there are a few things I want to update you guys on about, the channel and what I've been up to lately. But before I do anything else, I want to thank every single one of you, my over 260 subscribers. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos, to like it enough to subscribe, and then continue watching other videos. I really appreciate it, and I do plan on making more content for you very soon. Though starting in January, I'm going to be starting my winter term, and I'll be taking 5 college level classes just to try to graduate on time. So I might not make as many videos as often again, but I do plan to at least make some content instead of just fading away into obscurity and not making any more content ever again. So don't worry, that's not going to happen. I will make content. It just may be less frequent, but it will happen. So enough jibber jabber. I'm going to show you what I've been up to with this channel and with my Linux experience. So first things first, I want to give you an update about my channel, and that is that I have a warning against my channel because of the video I made about Try FreeTube Today, which was the free and open source front end to YouTube, and that makes sense as to why YouTube doesn't like that content. And I tried to make it appeal to them, and they denied it. They said no, that's it doesn't violate our community guidelines. They said that the specific reason as to why it was removed, that here, let me see if I can get that return to strikes, because it doesn't show up here now, of course, but I think they said because it was harmful or dangerous content. Maybe to their bottom line it was harmful and dangerous, but I don't see how that video promoted anything harmful in any way, shape, or form. But regardless, that's the status of my channel, but I don't have an actual strike yet, so that's good, although that might change in the future and I may have to end up moving to Odyssey rather, sorry. We'll see how that goes. This is something else I'd like to make note of, and I mentioned it in the intro, but over 200 subscribers, which is really big for me. It was a big celebration when I got to over 100, and then now that I'm over 200, I couldn't be happier. It really is kind of killing me that I wasn't able to make content, and thank all you guys for all these subscribers. It really is killing me, but it doesn't matter because I'm back and I'm gonna, do my best to make as much content as I possibly can. So the next thing I wanted to update you on was my GitLab repository, which I'm not sure many of you actually visit, but nevertheless, I wanted to show it to you. One of the first things I want to show you is under my config files and SpaceVim. I updated, I'll fix that later. That's a little error that I ran into with GitLab, but I fixed it since then, so it's okay. You'll notice that the last commit for my config and init.toml for SpaceVim is titled last commit. That is because I have discontinued using SpaceVim. Essentially, I kept running into errors every single time I would try to update, and even when I would work around those errors to update the SpaceVim, more errors would come up. It would crash all the time, and I'd have to keep fixing it. I think it's because I kept adding things to it, like plugins. I added the myconfig.vim into the Git repository, even though that's how you're supposed to do it. I think something I did broke it. And I tried LunarVim. Somebody in one of my videos that I made about Space Vim. In fact, here, let me go back and try to find it here because I want to thank the person for, let's see, comments. If I want to thank the person who actually recommended this. Okay, so I can't find the comment that somebody left me. It must have been in another video, but essentially they recommended that I go out and try LunarVim, which is a distribution of Vim using the Lua language. And I tried that for a little while, and it worked pretty well, except every time there was an update, I kept getting errors. But this time it wasn't like some, oh, we can't update error like with SpaceVim. With LunarVim, the errors I was getting were about changes to the plugins that kept happening, and then it would error out. I also noticed that the fuzzy finder they were using, which is Telescope, kept crashing on me, so I wasn't very happy with LunarVim either. And so it got to a point where I'm like, you know, these distributions of Vim are great for new users of Vim that want more than just the base experience. They're phenomenal to get people's, dip their toes in the water and see what Vim can do. But for me, I needed something custom. I needed something of my own. So what I decided to do was push a last commit for SpaceVim for my init.toml and my config.vim files, and then create my own custom configuration. It says distribution there, but I'll change that to custom configuration of Vim called FOSS Vim. And essentially, in fact, let me show it to you really quickly here now. What it is just my version of Vim. It uses Startify instead of Dashboard, although I might change that in the near future here. It has Fuzzy Finder built in, and I made a video about that. You can find it in my channel. It's a phenomenal way to search for files, whether it's files you recently visited or files that are in whatever directory you're going to. You can do, I believe it's ripgrep, and yeah, it's G, and it doesn't crash whenever I do it, so I can type in set space and then it doesn't actually end up crashing like everything else, or like Telescope did rather. It's built to be fast, it's built to be easily accessible, so I can jump into a file without having to do much and access all of my settings. And then I've built in such a way so that I have my init.vim, which is just the simple Vim settings, and then all of my plugin settings are in its own little directory that each have their own little file, even if it's just one line. That way everything's a bit neater and cleaner and better organized. I'm also using a bit of Lua, so there are a couple plugins here, and I've changed the plugin manager that I was using, which was Plug, over to Packer, which is just way better. Essentially, this is just my own personal Vim that has everything that I want and nothing that I don't want. So that is the whole shtick behind FOSS Vim, and I have a little tutorial here on how to get it up and running. I've tested this in the VM and it works perfectly. I do want to make a separate video about this, but for now I'll just mention it and then go into more detail with it in the future. And other than that, there isn't much else to update you on in terms of my GitLab or anything else with my channel. There is one thing. I have changed the status bar over from Polybar to what's called Bumblebee status. And it's a very lightweight and very functional status line that's actually worked better for me than the Polybar. I had a few issues with that, and for whatever reason Bumblebee doesn't have those issues, and it just works out of the gates, and I find it a lot better than Polybar. And again, I'll make a video about that in the near future. But yeah, other than that, there isn't too much else to update you on, other than I've made a few changes to my GitLab, and that I'm going to be doing my best to make more content in the near future. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I wanted to say. Thank you so much, everybody that subscribed, and I hope I hope you haven't left because of my lack of content. And yeah, I look forward to talking with you again real soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday. See ya.